and welcome to another interesting edition of Pillow Talk. My name is Marion Amanambu of the Nigerian Celebrity Network. And on Pillow Talk, I try to discuss social issues that are very, very relevant to our society today and try to shed a little light on the particular issue and see if there's any way that I can better the situation by informing or educating people out there. Today, I'll be discussing an issue that is very, very pertinent to the society today. And by society, I mean amongst the Nigerian people. I'm going to be talking about intertribal marriages. As you may already know, Nigeria is a country with over 160 million people and over 500 ethnic groups within this one country in Africa. I know some Americans ask me this question all the time, confusing country with a continent, and I just want to let you know that Nigeria is just a country in Africa, and Africa is a continent made up of different countries. Other countries in Africa that include South Africa, Mozambique, Kenya, Ghana, and so on and so forth. So I'm talking about just one country in Africa that has over 160 million people, and within that one country you have ethnic groups of over 500. And I'm talking about people that have like similar culture. When I say ethnic group, I mean like a group of people that have like a similar culture, a similar history, or even similar heritage. So we find this to always like be a common issue amongst Nigerians, of one ethnic group cannot marry the other ethnic group because of some kind of social maybe social differences or cultural differences, or even some taboos in some cases, and it just gets really complicated. And love is not complicated. It shouldn't be. At least from my experience, I know love should not be complicated. If you fall in love, why should there be some kind of restriction about who you can love, or when you can love this person? You can love an Igbo person because you're Yoruba. You can love Hausa because you're Igbo, or because you're Yoruba. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I think in this day and age, we should have grown past all these differences, all this cultural segregation that is inherent in our society. And we should, as a people, work together to make the country a better place. One of the reasons why I decided that this would be a very good topic of discussion on Pillow Talk was because last week I got a call from a friend of mine, and she's supposed to be engaged to this guy and planning a wedding. And all of a sudden she calls really crying and really disturbed because of the probability that the marriage was not gonna happen. And the reason being that the guy is Igbo, this girl is Yoruba. And for some reason, the guy's parents have decided that she's not a good fit for the family. She's not a good match, and they don't want to have anything to do with her because the guy supposedly is from some kind of royal family in Igbo, in the Igbo land, and they just didn't want to have anything to do with this girl. And my question was, why did it have to take this long? It took 2 years of dating and finally getting an engagement ring on that finger, and now finding out that the parents for some reason do not want to be a part of this celebration. It didn't have to go on for 2 years. This guy for some reason changed his attitude, and the girl called really crying and upset on the phone about how this guy's attitude has changed, and he's not the same person, and he's different. Whew. I'm like, wow. It took 2 years for this guy to finally cave in to the pressure of his family. Wow. That is shocking. That things like this happen in modern day society. Now, this poor girl is probably, gonna lose the chance at happiness, because the family of this guy are opposed to the marriage. And the guy is not man enough to stand against the family and say, no, you're going to love the person that I love. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that will spend the rest of your life with this person, not your family. You're the one that will live in the house with this person day and night, waking up with them, sleeping with them every day, eating their food, condoning their attitude, and building a future and a life together with them. And your parents might not necessarily be there. And it's just amazing because this was happening, or this is happening in America. America, that most of the time the parents are in Nigeria and this people couple are in America. Long distance. You would think that distance would be some kind of barrier to this kind of diversification that we have in Nigeria, in our cultural differences. And it's just sickening that things like this still happen today. Now, I would like to take like a neutral position and kind of play the devil's advocate and try to see things from the perspective or the point of view of the parents and try to understand just why they might be opposed to this union. Let me see. Think. Is there any reason why not marrying this girl would in some way benefit the family? I don't think so. The girl is educated, hardworking, honest, caring, loving, faithful. What else can you ask for in a partner? And I grew up in Nigeria, so I know sometimes there's a lot more attached to these cultural differences, and the parents can argue and say, oh, she won't understand our culture, she won't understand our language. We want our children to be able to speak the language. We want our children to be able to grow up with that cultural education instilled in them by their parents. But the truth of the matter is, your son loves this girl. Why can't he have a chance at happiness? He's going to end up going out and destroying this nice, relationship that he's got going on, only to end up with an Igbo girl that will screw him up. And the marriage might most likely not work. And even if it works, the guy might be miserable, will regret maybe down the road, few years after, getting married to this Igbo girl that the parents think will be a perfect fit for him. Because she speaks their language, she's from the same cultural background, and she understands, their ways of life. They might be in for a rude awakening, because it doesn't always end up the way that our parents think. It doesn't always end up like that. It doesn't always work out just the way you plan it, like perfect ending. Oh, you go because you're Nigerian, you're a Yoruba, you go marry a Yoruba and it's a perfect ending. You marry an Igbo and it's perfect ending. No, it doesn't always work out like that. Our parents need to understand that the children have a right to happiness. They have a right to choose who they want to get married to. In the olden days, in the generation of my mother and my father, I'm sure things like that happened and it worked for them somehow. But things have changed. Things have evolved. People have changed. Time has changed. Society has changed. People marry people from other culture, from other race, and it works out perfectly well. The most important ingredient in a relationship would be, in my opinion, love, understanding, and hard work, and some kind of compromise to make sure that whenever there's an argument or there's something going on in the marriage, you can always take a step back and see the other person's point of view and try to resolve whatever issue there is. And in the face of all difficulty or problem in this marriage, love will suffice. I know some people will say, now love you go chop, but I'm just saying it's a basic ingredient if that marriage is gonna work. Now I don't know why this guy has changed. I don't know why all of a sudden he thinks this girl that he's dated for 2 years has been perfect, stood by him through thick and thin. When he had no job, the girl was there working 16 hours a day, making sure the guy was, was not depressed. She was there, she was his rock. And now he's gonna throw all that away because of some cultural stuff that going on back home. And this guy hardly goes to Nigeria. That's why I'm surprised, because the guy's been in the US for like 21 years, has been to Nigeria only once. So the thing, I don't know why, oh, it's just amazing that things like this still happen. For me, I'm a very neutral, open person. I want to look at someone and take them, for who they are, without necessarily saying, oh, okay, because you're from Ijebu, and then because you're from Ijebu people have, they're notorious for, so and so. So I'm not gonna date an Ijebu person. Oh, this person is Hausa, and oh my goodness, Boko Haram. Oh my goodness, this, that, and you start stereotyping and labeling people, and then, give people a chance. Allow people to show you who they are. Look at the bigger picture of, this relationship with this person. Is it what makes you happy? You have to think about your happiness long term. Now, look at the bigger picture. Is this person honest? Is the person sincere, hardworking, loyal? Will this person stand by you through thick and thin? We take a lot of stuff for granted. You never know. I've seen people who are married and the husband or even the wife gets sick. Nobody saw this coming. Out of the left field, it just hit them, boom. And one person is sick and the other person has to be, responsible, taking care of this other person. And that's when love comes in. If that love wasn't there in the beginning, it's very easy for people to quit, for people to walk away, people to get done and be frustrated and be like, I throw in the towel, I'm done. I can't do this. I can't take care of this person. So look at the bigger picture when you are talking about getting married to people from other culture. Do not let that be a determining factor. Don't go out saying, oh, okay, I'm not going to love this person because hi, how are you? What's your name? And oh my goodness, he's Yoruba. Oh my God, she's Igbo. I'm not going to date an Igbo person. I'm not going to date a Yoruba person. And from the beginning, you've already labeled this person and without giving them a chance to actually get to know and see if it could be a right fit or a right match for you long term. We need to be talking about long term. When you're talking about marriage and relationship, it should always be long term. It's not short term. If you get married or you want to get married to someone because, oh my God, she's hot, she's beautiful, she got a nice body, no. All that will not even carry your marriage anywhere. You need to look deep beneath the surface, deep beneath cultural, ethnic differences. Look deep and see the inner beauty, the inner qualities that this person has. That should be the determining factor. That is what should tell you if you should spend the rest of your life with this person or not. All right, that's what I have to say on the issue of intertribal marriages, and I do hope for some, reason, people will watch this and learn a thing or two and change their attitude and change their perspective. At least get some knowledge out of what I've been saying and try to build your relationship and do the right thing that works for you in your relationship. Thank you very much for being a part of my day and watching Pillow Talk with Marion Amanambu. I'll see you next time when I'll have another interesting, super hot topic to talk about. Till then, please check out my other videos and thank you very much for watching. Bye.